people ask me what my wireframe process looks like. And the truth is, it doesn't need to look amazing. Creativity really flows, I find, when you literally got pen and paper with you and you can just get on with it. This is why I always carry a notepad with blank page and a pen with me. And if I get the chance, sit down in a little cafe, maybe the French roots I have, sit down in a little cafe and draw things out. And let's be honest, I'm not going to be winning prizes for design, not at all. But nor should you be worried about that, because wireframing is all about putting functionality on a page. So, I mean, here you can see 6 screens. You might not be able to see my pointer very well, but yeah, effectively you're looking at here, yeah, a tour. Yeah, the tour's got 1, 2, 3 screens. Text goes here. I'm gonna have some designed up people go here, and then some images, right? So, yeah, you do not need to go crazy with this. Tour page 2 is all gonna be, yeah, some text and requesting GPS and push notification. You know, the way I'm going to do that in this particular example is I'm going to force people to give that. You cannot go to the next screen without giving GPS and push notification. So that enhances the app, and in this particular one, it's needed. Yeah, if I give you another example here, so this is a home screen. Yeah, it's all about simplicity. Yeah, top left, search icon, which brings out a pop-up, which will be a search pop-up, which is on a different page. I won't show you. This one's a profile icon. Yeah, that brings out the right drawer. And then in this particular example, I've got, yeah, a box with an X in it. That shows that it's an image when you have an X in it. Text. So effectively here I've got 1, 2, 3 icons in the suggestion column. And recent I've got 1, 2, 3. All right. Bottom tab bar, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? This is a mess. I completely agree. But this was me thinking out loud on paper, and capturing it. What I tend to do from this stage is do it up again more nicely with an actual ruler, God forbid, so I can share it with my designer. But the key thing here is you need to share it, not just your graphic designs. You need to share it with a screencast, exactly like I'm doing right now. You need to talk the person through what you're doing, show them your vision, discuss it, and explain all the different things. For example, on this screen here, you can see there's 4 boxes, right? And there's a little circle with an X in it. Now my designer knows me well enough to know that is a little X to delete icon. That's the imagery I use for that. And they will design it and they will get it right. Okay, I'm going to show you what this goes from this stage to, where are you? This stage. Now this is actually a different app, but it's got some similarities, right? So you can see on this app the sign up screen. So this is, yeah, maybe it's part of a tour, maybe it's, no, this is a tour. Yeah, let's use this one. This is a tour, 1, 2, 3. There's some text, there's an image. This is the second part of the tour here, 1, 2, 3. It's requesting, I know this one isn't requesting push notification actually. For once we didn't request it at this stage, we requested it within the apps to avoid having a blocker. But what I want to show you here is, yeah, we've gone from hand-drawn to this kind of, yeah, computer-designed versions of it. And this isn't absolutely optimal design, right? So this box may not be square when we finish the designs, and those buttons may not be exactly like that. Yeah, maybe we'll have rounded edges at 10 degrees. So that seems to be popular nowadays. Yeah, this is a good example of what a wireframe looks like. It's got a back button, it's got a favorite button here, the star. This is an image, and then you've got information. This is another example. Back button, you've got your big list view here. You've got a, what's this? You've got, yeah, a little sign showing you that you're 1.2 kilometers away from a destination. And then you've got a menu, so a tab bar at the bottom, 1, 2, 3 things, taking your profile, notification feed, and then the location. The location in this instance being the map. So it takes you back to the map. So again, the reason I'm showing you this is that when you are designing things, you go from a hand-drawn version to this kind of version, which you can do yourself using a ton of software like you can use canva.com, you can use iDraw, you could use Photoshop, you could use Pixelmator, which is a cheap version of Photoshop. Adobe's XP, I think I've got something pretty decent. Um, you could use PowerPoint for crying out loud. It doesn't matter. This actually in PowerPoint would be quite easy to do. But the point of this is really, really good enough to get a designer working on it. So if you can do this stage yourself, do it yourself, and then get to the stage where you employ a designer to do things. So this is what some of the screens that you saw before look like done up. All right, so you got some graphic design, you've got all the colors, you've got some good thinking about the use. We did a couple of versions of this one, so here it's really clear that you've got the two sides to things instead of that. But the point of the design stage is you're taking the wireframes, you're optimizing them, you're working on them, and you're trying to make the best use of space and give the best visual clues to your users. In this particular case, you really are showing a clear contrast between, in this particular case, it's the address of a pub and the unique code, the number of times you use them, the distance. So you can really see a clear contrast. Again, showing you some of the designs. This was a screen I showed you the wireframe for. You've got the tab bar at the bottom, quick access to things. You got the filter here, you can type in here. It's just effectively your wireframes get totted up by the designer. That's the way I like to look at it. It's really insultive to my designers sometimes, because let's be honest, it adds creativity. I mean, this is a lovely profile screen, nice design. This is a second version of it where they've iterated the size, you see, from middle to that. It just makes it a little bit different, maybe a little bit edgier than something like this, which I think is too plain. And this, which we've seen this 1,000 times before, but it's not bad. Personally, my favorite is probably this one, though I think in the end we chose that one because of the symmetry. It's something people liked. But this is my design process. You go from hand-drawn wireframes. Either you do them up on the computer, or you get a graphic designer to do that. When you get to the wireframe being done up on the computer, you might want to optimize slightly the positioning of things. But otherwise, you really focus as an individual on functionality, because that's your job. What's the functionality on the screen? And then you let the designer, if you don't have time to learn how to do that well, you let the designer focus on what's going to be the best look and feel and the best native elements to enable you to get that user to understand what they need to do. Yeah. For example, here, this is the example of tab bars. So this is at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, there's no right or wrong on this. There's just ways of trying things which really make things stand out. And hey, maybe this one's the best because it really makes things stand out. This could be confusing. But you know what? Designers can make things really, really good for you. Spending some reasonable money on that is a good investment. And as a benchmark, I'd say that spending on doing, say, 10 screens, spending $200 to $500 should be the range. And it's a wide range because you're going to have different quality of designers. The ones at 500 for 10 screens, which I think is going to be that's reasonably expensive, they should be the ones leading design for you in terms of thinking and what's going to look amazing, and also achieve what you want to achieve, which is a user goes from A to B to C and then gives you money at the end of that journey. The ones at $200, they may need more direction from you. But if you're confident in that, then hey, feel free to work with them. It might take a couple of rounds of iterations, which is what I personally always end up doing to get the right look and feel. But maybe you're saving money by doing that strategy. Okay, so that's my wireframing process. We go from pen and paper to a computer done up version, which you can start showing people. You can start putting that version, the wireframe one, into a prototyping tool like InVision. So go to the prototyping section for more information on that. And then you go to a designer, unless you want to become one yourself and spend the time on it, and you get the screens done up. And all that is following the wireframes and applying your color scheme. In this particular case, the color scheme is very much white and green. That's it. And black. That's the three colors that we have chosen for that. That's it. Time is gone.